Now, look, the big news today, this is the big news. This is what's going on, okay? This is exactly what happened today. And you'll never believe it because I couldn't believe it my damn self. But we have this. This is a press release. That's right, from defense.gov. You know what that is? That's right. That's the Department of Defense, the DOD, the Pentagon. Yeah, that's right. Check this out. DOD announces the establishment of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. Oh. Oh, you don't say. Okay, one more time. The DOD, Department of Defense, announces the establishment of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. It's July 20th. This is today. Today. All right. Here we go. Let's read some of this. This is a press release from the from the government, which reads like it's bedtime. It's going to put you to sleep because it's super boring. But you know what this is, right? All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. It's a new term for UFOs, right? That's what this is. It's not UAP, the unidentified aerial phenomena. It's now called All Domain Anomalies, right? We're changing the terms again. Okay, we're going to read some of this. Grab your maybe juice because you're going to need to stay awake. On July 15th, 2022, Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks, in coordination with the Director of National Intelligence, amended her original direction to the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security by renaming and expanding the scope of the Airborne Object Identification and Management Group, the AOIMSG, which is what the office they just created in the last 6 or 8 months, maybe 9 months. We'll get to that in a little bit here. But okay, so they just created this. It was called the Airborne Object Identification and Management Group, or the worst acronym ever, AOIMSG, the OIMSG, or right, whatever. Okay, anyway, so there we go. So they did that, right? And they're changing the name and the scope to a larger thing. And they're calling it the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or the AARO. Yes. Okay. All right. Due to the enactment of the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal 2022, which included a provision to establish an office in coordination with DNI, the responsibilities that were broader than those originally assigned to the AOIMSG, or the OIMSG. The OIMSG. Today, this name should pique your interest. Today, USD Ronald S. Moultrie informed the Department of the establishment of AARO within the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, and named Dr. Sean M. Kirkpatrick, most recently the chief scientist at the Defense Intelligence Agency's Missile and Space Intelligence Center, as the director of the AARO. Okay. All right. The mission of the AARO will be to synchronize efforts across the Department of Defense and with other U.S. federal departments and agencies to detect, identify, and attribute objects of interest in, on, or near military installations, operating areas, training areas, special use airspace, and other areas of interest, and as necessary to mitigate any associated threats to safety of operations and national security. This includes anomalous, unidentified space, airborne, submerged, and trans-medium objects. Oh, the plot thickens, doesn't it? The plot thickens. Huh. The AARO Executive Council, led by the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, Ronald Moultrie, again, I'll explain who he is in just a moment, will provide oversight and direction to the AARO along those primary lines of effort. Number 1, surveillance, collection, and reporting. Number 2, system capabilities and design. Number 3, intelligence operations and analysis. Number 4, mitigation and defeat. Number 5, governance. Number 6, science and technology. And here it is, they got links to the different things here. Dr. Kirkpatrick's bio, which we'll look at that in a little bit as well. Now look, this is the thing regarding this, and this is why it kind of makes me grit my teeth. It makes me think that the government is just not serious about UFOs. I just think they're not. Look, and I can be wrong. I've been wrong. I'm not afraid to be wrong. It's okay, right? We live in a world where if you're wrong, people are going to like spit vinegar in your face or fling poo emojis at you on the internet. I don't care. Look, I've been wrong before. I'm going to be wrong again. It's part of being human, right? It's fine. But in this instance, I'm wondering why the rebrand already. Why do we have this actual UFO office, the OIMSG, if you remember that, AOIMSG, now being rebranded with greater scope, they say, so soon? I mean, we barely knew you, OIMSG, without this new AARO, and good point, James, the arrow, AARO. Is it because they didn't think that the branding was sufficient for the OIMSG, or whatever the last UFO office was? Okay, so anyway, look. So I'm frustrated by, I'm interested in UFOs, okay? And that doesn't make me a Nazi. No, that doesn't make me any of the terrible things you want to call me. I'm interested in what the phenomena actually is. Is it propaganda? Is it aliens? Is it somewhere in between? I think it's a very deep, fascinating conversation, all right? But the problem here that I have with this specifically is we didn't even have anything from that other office, really. It's like, okay, we've all heard about ATIP and Project Blue Book and, some of this other stuff, OSAP, and some of these other government institutions that actually have dug into UFOs and the rest of this. But in this case, it's like we have a rebrand before we even have an office doing anything to do with anything. It's crazy. Okay, so there's my thought. There's my initial thought. This goes way deeper than that. So we're going to look into this guy as well and look at his resume, this Dr. Sean M. Kirkpatrick. We're going to talk about him in just a bit. And we're going to talk about this Moultrie fellow, because Moultrie, if you remember this guy, Ronald Moultrie, I'm going to put this up on the screen here. You probably remember him from the UFO hearings, right? We just had this back in May, and Ronald Moultrie was the guy that the sworn in as Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security on June 1st, right? So literally, that was 2021, sorry, not 2022. So a year ago. So he's been in this role for a year, and he's tasked with keeping, let's say, the I don't know, like the gatekeeper of UFOs as far as governments are concerned, right? As far as this government's concerned, anyway, the United States government. So I don't know. You tell me. This is weird, right? This is super weird that this turns into a propaganda fest so soon.